This video will be episode 35, starting on day 237 of the Black Lion Origins campaign. Last episode, we finished raising our army. We fought a small army and defeated it, and on the back of that victory, we decided that we likely had enough time to come down and siege Abcomer. Winning that siege, we are now in a position to uh, need to defend Abcomer. Uh, like most of the time, when you take a fief from a kingdom, they're going to come back hard. And so now what we're needing to do is to raise more troops as much as possible. Now that we have Abcomer to hold troops, we can uh, put our troops in the garrison, and then send our clan parties out to recruit more troops. And while they're doing that, while they're recruiting more troops, I need to head back into the Vlandian kingdom so that I can potentially uh, sell some of this loot that I've gotten. It would be pretty catastrophic if at this point I was captured holding all of the loot, because once it gets into my bank account, once it's sold and I have it in my bank account, then it isn't lost if I should lose a battle. We've spent about 70,000 gold in raising this army, and if we lose a battle at this point, that money is essentially just lost. Whereas if I can go and sell the loot, I can recuperate much, if not all of that loss and more. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set our clan party leaders to recruiting troops, and we're going to go ahead and sell loot at Sargo. If you win a siege at a castle, well, it's always worthwhile to take prisoners um, from sieges or battles that take place at your fiefs. The reason being is because you can always sell those prisoners, especially if you have, if you have a clan party right where you're in your army, you can give all of those prisoners to that clan party leader, and then re-enter the castle, and he will sell all of those prisoners and get roguery exp. It'll help his roguery exp. It'll help his main character exp, which is very valuable. And then also, it doesn't immediately show that you've gained gold for them having turned in those prisoners, but your breakdown of your expenditures and money gains will show an increase in their earnings over time. Rather than losing money, they'll gain money because of that. So that's always worth doing. But then when you're doing battles at towns, that's just for battles at castles. But when you're doing battles at towns, you'll always want to take those prisoners too, because you can immediately jump into the town and uh, sell those prisoners at the ransom broker yourself, and gain that exp and gold immediately for yourself. An interesting side note is that it's been 11 days since the start of episode 32, Raise an Army, which started on day 226, till now on episode 35, where we started on day 237. And in those 11 days, we've managed to raise 300 troops or more into our army, which is pretty substantial for that amount of time. Now, 11 days is half a season, but you be the judge as to whether that's a pretty quick army raising or not. Seeing that Lanark was only being defended by 100+ soldiers, I thought, I can put together an army of more than that and take Lanark for myself also. Lanark, Abcomer, and Pencannic are my favorite fiefs to hold for a kingdom. The battlefield for defending them is one that I'm familiar with and enjoy, and so that's my next move, I think.
I'm yours. I'm at your.
Where we're pulling our troops out of Abcomer in order to do that, which is worrying. Like will make it defenseless and an easy target to the battalions. But we're gonna go ahead and make this move in order to hopefully expand our kingdom. Though, should we fail in this attempt somehow, Abcomer would be left completely defenseless and would indubitably be lost while we're rotting in a dungeon somewhere, or hoping to raise an army. So we caught this this Battanian noble and his warband up in this village, and we're going to take the opportunity to fight him before we make our attempt at Lanark, because we want the Battanians as weak and distracted as possible as we make this attempt. And so it's good to take these opportunities to destroy these warbands while we can. This is always my my go-to move, especially in these engagements where, so if you are the attacker and you know you're the attacker, because if in the drop-down menu you have an option to leave the battle rather than continue to fight it, that means you're the attacker and you're only fighting this battle because you wanted to. And under those circumstances, the enemy AI is always going to behave defensively, and I don't enjoy trying to fight an enemy that is playing defensively, because that means they're going to what I've heard another YouTuber call castle up. they will find a defensive position and fortify it, and it becomes very difficult to fight them in that position. And that's why I personally will I leave my own troops in an advantageous position, and then I will go and antagonize the enemy. I've said it before, but I'll say it some more. What I do is I generally will go and attack the enemy infantry and archers, and that puts the cavalry, the enemy cavalry, in a position of like, okay, well, if their cavalry is attacking our infantry, then we've got to go attack their infantry. And once the enemy cavalry is dead, because my infantry is more than capable of dealing with cavalry, once their cavalry is dead, then the enemy infantry is like, okay, well then I guess we've got to attack as the infantry too, and it kind of it's a workaround from the enemy trying to behave defensively, which is pretty important. All right, we've got our army of 435 put back together again, and you'll see Lanaken's only got 130 troops here. But okay. So Lucian here
I'm yours.
has come with an army, and then another warband pitched in. So we're facing 605. Remember, this is happening on a battlefield that I am very familiar with. These are the core fiefs of my Black Lion campaign, and I hope to be able to defeat this enemy force, despite our being outnumbered. Nearly 1.5 to 1. Yeah. So, I mean, like that's not insurmountable odds, especially not for the Black Lion, but the Butcher is not the Black Lion, and we don't have the troops that the Black Lion has at his disposal. So in my army, we barely have any noble troops, and most of those noble troops haven't been upgraded to tier 6 yet. So yeah, this is by no means a guaranteed victory. We're again haranguing the enemy. You'll see, even though they're on the offensive because they attacked us, we don't have any option for like, oh, okay, actually, I don't want to fight this fight anymore, and we'll walk away without any repercussions. We have to win this, otherwise we are prisoners. The only other thing we could do is to sacrifice troops to escape, which is a fairly despicable thing to do, and I don't like doing it, and I've rarely, if ever, done it. So we are attacking the enemy infantry ahead of their impending attack on us, because I was hoping to get their cavalry to attack my infantry ahead of their infantry, because it's a whole lot harder to deal with cavalry whilst also dealing with infantry. So we went ahead and gave the attack command with our infantry, and they meet in the middle of this battlefield. This is a terrible position to be in. I've managed to get myself taken out of the equation early. We have no choice now but to put our trust in our troops and their captains to finish this battle. This battle will determine whether our push into the Britannian kingdom ends entirely, and all of that effort is wasted, or if we will be able to then turn around from this battle and siege Lanaken. Anyway, this has been episode 35 of the Black Lion Origins campaign, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.